Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi, you can use other people's emotes, or if you feel like being a lurker and you don't want to say anything at all, you can just do that. Go ahead and lurk. Ghost Valve is here. Welcome, Ghost Valve. Happy to have you here. Tonight we are working on the Gundam Aerial Full Mechanics. As you can see right here, there's the Gundam Aerial Full Mechanics. We're on that. Hello, Lashbrook. Welcome, welcome. We have completed the top half of this kit. It is time to work on the legs. It's leg day or leg night, but leg day is a thing, and leg night I do not believe is a thing. So we'll go with calling it a leg day. But yeah, it's leg day around here. So we're working on one of the legs. We did the feet as well. The feet are done. And it should be a fun evening here. It also may be a lightly attended evening, which is okay. It happens. That's all right. Would I prefer if a ton of people were here watching the streams? Of course I would. Are we still going to do it even if there's not that many people? Yeah, I don't cancel for lack of people showing up, except that one time where I kept going hoping people would arrive, and when they didn't, I just was like, okay, well, I'm done here, and then uploaded the hour-long video to YouTube and said, check the archives. That was the Game Awards in December. Just a lot of people wanted to watch the Game Awards, I guess. Risk fans here, or they had other plans or something, I don't know. But either way, that didn't work out. What is sort of working out is, so this green screen shit, it ain't perfect, right? I am using NVIDIA's background remover to remove my background. And it doesn't take up much CPU power to do that, or GPU power, really. And I'm not really using the GPU for much for model kit building streams, so it's okay. We get a little fuzzy, a little dicey here with the headphones and the bandana, but it's pretty good. Also, if the chair wasn't black, that probably would help out some. It's doing its best, really. Let's be honest. It's doing the best it can. We'll go to the overhead camera here because I'm trying it out. I don't know. I don't know if I like this. I don't know if you're going to like this. We still have a little bit, unfortunately, of camera shake here. When I move the table, only like the camera shouldn't shake because it's not attached to this table. It's attached to the table next to it. I have to move that table over a little bit because right now it is too close, and because of the carpet, it moves it when one moves, the other moves. I have to readjust, and I will do that. I didn't get a chance to do that between Thursday stream and today, but beyond that, I'm trying this out. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if you like it. As I said, I don't hate it. I'll say that. We'll start there. I don't hate this. I kind of like not having the little background there over it because right now I'm not necessarily fully covering up too much of the build space. And so I am enjoying this so far. We will see. We will see how this goes long term and if I'm feeling like this is the way to go. But we're giving this a shot. We're seeing how we feel about it. But we can get into this model kit building here. In the past 2 days, I have done a lot of yard work. And I am here to say that it sucks and I hate it. And I wish that I hadn't done it. But it needs to get done. Beyond my own yard work that I've been doing in this house, this yard for this house, I have also been helping out my neighbors. Now, normally, when my neighbors go out of town, because they're friends with my folks, I go over and feed my neighbor's fish. And I'm still doing that. Now, he recently has a new thing, because he's had some new fish since the last time I did it. I'm feeding them bloodworms. Yeah, that's right. Now, these bloodworms are not, I am not like digging into a big bag and tossing it, like worms you get out of the ground, that kind of thing. No, this specifically, C126 I need. These specifically are like worms that have been diced up and packaged together and frozen, and then I throw frozen chunks of worm, and then they kind of like immediately, once they hit the water in the tank, start to dissolve enough that then the fish can go and eat up all these little worm pieces. So I've been doing that, and while I do that, my other task, which is new to me and as a summer task, is I'm also watering all of their plants so that while they're away, their plants don't die because we're in a drought here. We might have a little bit of rain tomorrow, but we have not had rain in quite some time, and these plants are not gonna make it. These outdoor plants are definitely not gonna make it if I don't take care of them, which I have been doing. So that has been like my everyday since Wednesday, and I'm doing that through Monday. So I have 2 more days of doing that. I'll say this. This is a small little thing. Very small reward, right? I'm doing this to be helpful because they are both friends with my parents, and I appreciate my parents having friends that are close, and they do a lot of stuff together, and it's very nice. So I am helping out, and I don't mind helping out. But here's what I'll say. So this one wants to go in this first. Wait. Oh, okay. This goes in like this. Then I gotta line up all of these parts here. Do that real carefully. Great. Here's what I will say. Now that I have said that more than once, I will repeat myself. I don't mind watering plants. I don't mind feeding fish. I don't mind doing any of that stuff. It's the going outside part that I don't like right now because it's so hot. It's just unbelievably hot out there, and I'm not here for it. I'm not happy about it. There is one bonus. There is one thing that is keeping me going, and that's that there's bowls of candy at that house. That after a holiday, they just put all the candy in a bowl, and then when they have people over, they offer them candy, or they have some candy themselves, of course. It's not just going out to randos. And there's still Easter candy in there, so I've just been eating jelly beans, and I'm a big jelly bean fan. I was about to say fiend. I don't think I'm a jelly bean fiend, but I do think that I'm a jelly bean fan. I do like jelly beans, so I have been able to eat jelly beans every day since I went over there. Just take a little handful. And again, I'm not stealing. I am just taking the candy dish and taking out what, my portion of the candy dish every day. It keeps it going a little bit. That's my little bit like, okay. Speaking of keeping me going, because I'm just, at this point, the bean tax. Yes, this is the jelly bean tax. Ghost Valve. That's a good way to put it. Speaking of keeping things going, I'm not trying to get dark or dour here. I gotta plan something. I gotta get plans together for something because I don't have them right now. When I completed my birthday subathon, those were plans. I mean, I have like events, right? I have like, there's a wrestling show tomorrow I'm going to watch with people. It's a long fucking wrestling show. We'll get to it. We'll talk Forbidden Door in a bit because they just fucking added a 4th pre-show match. So there are 10 matches on the main card and 4 matches in the pre-show. Oh, God, it's going to be a long night of wrestling. It's going to be a good, fun, long night of wrestling. But just thinking about it, it's like, okay, so I did that, and that was really fun, and I had a good time doing it. What do I have? Like, I know that I am going to be doing a charity event this year. I don't have that nailed down what I'm doing exactly. If I'm going to be taking part in someone else's, if I'm just going to do a charity stream, I don't have that. I don't have that locked in yet. That is going to need to get locked in at some point. But I'm not going to any conventions. I'm not going anywhere, traveling at all. I don't have any digital events coming up. And turns out, I've talked about this on stream before, but it turns out I kind of need those. Like I need long-term projects. I have a bunch of short-term stuff. I have stuff I want to do and stuff that I am doing and I enjoy doing. Like I know the next 4 Pat Bear's anime clubs that I'm recording. 3 because I'm going to do because the next one is all the isekai out this season. The one after that is my recommendations for the season of what I'm enjoying, because that'll be, a bit into the season, so I can talk about that. And then I know like the first of these have nothing to do with the season. These are just filling until the season's over videos. Like I know at least one of those, what those are going to be, maybe even 2. So I know I have 2 done, and I might actually have like 4 planned out, which is a lot. Let me figure out where this goes. It goes here. Yes, it goes here. Okay, it goes like that. Great. Got to learn how this leg goes together. So I have that, right? Like I have an idea of some things I want to do, and I think those will, keep me motivated on that. But I don't have anything big. I don't have anything major. I have a little short-term stuff. I don't have long-term stuff. Like I said, planning for my subathon was like the long-term thing that I had been working on, and now that is completed, I don't know what's next, and something kind of needs to be next to keep me motivated, I guess. Like the day-to-day stuff is fine. Like, okay, I had to record some stuff because I didn't have my next Kuma Baer done. Wednesday's Kuma Baer wasn't done. I did that today. I did my Q&A for patrons today, my monthly Q&A. That guy got done with. Those things got done because I needed to get those done. And I was happy to do them. I actually did 2. Kuma Baer I usually do in blocks of 2. Now I will have to do 5 this month because there are 5 Wednesdays in the month. And again, when I say have to, this is a video project I like doing. Part of the idea of having a weekly video project, like the weekly Wednesday, is to force myself to be creative and to work on different things and to have a schedule and to complete tasks. I've never missed a Wednesday. There have been Wednesdays where I forgot to make the video public until later in the day. I have done that a couple times since I started doing this Wednesday project many years ago. But that's it. So like when I say have to, I mean like I want to get that done. I want to have them done ahead of time. Any video that I'm making for Wednesday, I need done by Tuesday so I can send it out to my $5 and $10 patrons and my YouTube members. They get that shit early, so they got to get that early. If they're getting it early, they got to get it early. You get what I'm saying. So I have to get those done for that. And I had my Q&A. I have been late on my Q&A once in a while. There was a PAX East one year that was right at the end of the month, and I hadn't been doing Patreon that long. And I just didn't think about the fact that I needed to do it before I went away. And so I did a Q&A. I recorded a Q&A during PAX and uploaded it during PAX. I recorded it in like an empty room at PAX because I was just like, oh shit. I think I did it on my camera phone, or my phone's camera. I did it on my phone's camera, and then uploaded it when I got back to my hotel room that year, or my Airbnb. I can't remember the specifics. I've done that, and every once in a while there would be a thing where I'm like, oh shit, it's like not only is it the end of the month and I haven't uploaded it, it's the end of the month and I didn't do a call for questions and I don't have enough questions. Shit. I'm generally good about it. There have been times where I was not as good about it as I would like to be. But for the most part, I've been nailing it. All right, so that goes through that. And then please hold here while attaching parts. Oh, that's got to attach there. All right, this part isn't attached to anything yet, but it will be. This part is just kind of hanging out right now. Our little knee piece here isn't doing anything at the moment, but it will, because we'll be attaching other parts there. So yeah, that's a long-winded way of saying that I gotta make plans to do something outside of my normal video stuff and streaming, which I love and I really enjoy doing, and I'm going to continue to do. But I need something. Like, I have a long-term deadline of something. At this point, I can say I am going to make a this or that PowerPoint presentation, slideshow thing for Desert Bus for Hope, the charity. The last several years, I have made one for the night shift for Graham Stark specifically and crew. I have made one the past several years, and I will continue to make them because I really enjoy making them for them. I have to make it, but I have the concept, which is the hardest part, because it has to be this thing or that thing, and they have to be somewhat related, but also different. But also, it has to be a fun pun or a play on words, or just like something somewhat creative at the very least. I know what I'm going to do for that. But again, I don't need to really think about that till the end of the year, because it's not happening till the end of the year. So, like, I got time to figure that shit out. Okay, so let me look at the instruction book here. This part goes into that. So this clip here is going to go into where it is this gold part there, or yellow, whatever you want to call that. So that's got to go in like that. And then the rest of this needs to slip in where it needs to go. Good. And then we do the same thing on the other side, remembering that needs to slip on there. That's a little complicated. It seemed to work out. I don't know. Yeah, okay, so now when the knee bends, these separate. You can see that. It goes like that. Like that. That's cool. And the knee can bend more than that. I was just bending it a little bit. Great. As in most, if not all, full mechanics, this kit has a lot of details that I am really enjoying. I think this is a very cool fucking kit that is so detailed, and I'm really enjoying that because I think the Gundam Aerial is a really clever and fun design. It's a good kit. So to have a good kit for a good model kit, a good model kit for a good mobile suit is what I'm trying to say. That's a win-win. We're doing great. We're doing gangbusters for that shit. All right. I think I have kind of rambled and spoken about my own thoughts and feelings on stuff, and perhaps a little insecurities here and there. Let's talk about, hey, no major layoffs happened in the game industry yesterday or today that were reported by major gaming publications. I am adding that caveat that no major gaming publication talked about layoffs on Friday or today. That doesn't mean they didn't happen. It just means they weren't reported on. It doesn't, because of the size of the company or the amount of layoffs or anything like that. But I have no additional layoffs at studios or studio closures to talk about today. And in fact, the only gaming news I have to share with you is that SNK is expanding. And they are... they opened a studio in Singapore 2 years ago, but they that was really quiet and kind of like a skunkworks project. But now they did their official grand opening. We're going to talk about this shit. We're going to tell people. We're going to make a big deal about it. and that happened like this week. Um, they want to be a big publisher. So SNK Games Singapore is what are they? I don't know if they're working on anything here. So you may remember when I say like, oh, this is cool that SNK is expanding and they opened their Singapore studio 2 years ago, but now they're like really making a big deal about it as they kind of try to gear up for an expansion. I must also be said that this comes along with the fact that 2 years ago, controlling stake in SNK was purchased by the nonprofit group MISC, who are an arm of the Saudi Arabian government. So that should be a reminder to folks that Metal Slug is owned by Saudi Arabia, specifically the Prince of Saudi Arabia. So yeah. That's just a thing to remember. So because there's only so much that's happy about anything in the world of video game development. But yeah, they are expanding out and making it official, and that's the good gaming news. Yeah, there just really wasn't much. It's the summer, and these are the weekends, and I think that like it's gonna be a little dry. Like we're gonna get like maybe a couple game announcements here and there. Are these the wrong pieces? One of these might be the wrong piece. One of these, I think, is wrong. C10 and C11 are the pieces I need here. So I'm going to double check. Did I take out C10 and C11? I did. Okay. That's C10 and that's C11 then. All right. Okay. We'll see how this goes, but I think I'm doing the right parts here. All right, then I need some parts from D. And again, these have undergating, so I have to trim them all off. Now let's talk about Forbidden Door, the big wrestling show tomorrow. Of course, I'll talk about the results on Sunday, but I'm going to give you my predictions about who is winning and how the event will go. I can tell you right now, I am predicting it's going to be a long show, like a really annoyingly long show, full of great matches, but like no downtime, and you're like, whew, okay, oh more, oh shit, all right, well, oh no. The piss break match has so many good people in it. Shit. Fuck. Well, I'm still going to take this piss break match, but oh well. That's it. I need D12. That's this piece that I clipped out by mistake on Thursday. Hooray. The 0 hour pre-show has 4 matches because one match got added and it got announced at Collision, which is happening right now as we talk. The newest match that's been added is a 4-way tag team bout, which just I don't think is for anything other than getting more people on the card, which is nice, but what are we doing here? It is House of Black, Malachi Black and Brody King, because in storyline, Buddy Matthews is out with an injury, or he got beat up and taken out. Let's see. How do you want that to look? But of course, in reality, he got married. Congratulations to him and Rhea on their marriage. So House of Black versus Tomohiro Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly are tagging together. That makes no sense and is completely fucking random, but also cool as hell. That's some cool shit. So not mad at it, just confused. Versus Roderick Strong and Gabriel Kidd. Gabe Kidd and Roddy Strong did tag together on Rampage. No explanation why. There's no explanation why a War Dog, which makes him part of Bullet Club, is hanging out with Roderick Strong of the Undisputed Kingdom. There's just no explanation for that partnership. Versus Private Party. I don't know why. I don't know, understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why is this for fight? Is it just that Ishii was in town and they were like, we got to find a place for him in the card, and we have these other people. We'll just make that. I don't know. I think so. Maybe this is because the other thing that's weird. Sorry, the other thing I'm thinking, like trying to think out loud about, like, who wins this. The other thing that I was thinking about maybe is, they wanted more wins from New Japan, maybe, but they didn't put any New Japan teams in this. So I guess Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly win because they want to have a tag team. They want to have those guys win. Maybe. And that furthers Kyle and Roderick Strong. I have no idea. It's just so strange. I can tell you that Private Party is there to get pinned. Like, that's a no-brainer. Private Party are in this match to do some cool spots. They're an actual tag team, and then they're going to get pinned. Zay or Quen are going to get pinned in this shit. That's what that is my assumption. Perhaps I'll be wrong. The other ones we have Los Ingobernables de Japón, which is Suri, Titan, and Himuro Takahashi. They are taking on the Lucha Brothers, and which is Penta and Rey Fenix, and Mystico. And this is CMLL's only win. Isn't Private Party pretty high in the rankings right now? Yes, Lashbrook, but that's hey, Lord Grashington. Lashbrook, that's not because Private Party is excellent. That's because the tag division is in shambles. The tag division is really rough right now, but Private Party is in that match to lose. They're there to get pinned because they don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's just that no tag team really matters, unfortunately. That's my belief anyway. Lucha Brothers and Mystico are going to win this one because that gives Mystico the win, which is the only person from CMLL who is going to win anything all night long. They already had their big win, which is Atlantis Jr. in CMLL beat Kyle, what's his name? Not Kyle O'Reilly, the other Kyle. He beat Kyle, who had the Ring of Honor Television Championship. He beat that Kyle. Kyle Fletcher. I remembered it. He beat Kyle Fletcher, and now, and that's important to them. Also, Chris Jericho showed up to feud with Mystico. And that is very important to CMLL. Yes, Kyle. Kyle Fletcher. It's huge for CMLL to have Jericho back after so many years, to have Jericho there in the building. Even if all my opinions on Jericho aside, it's a very big deal for CMLL. So that's great for them. I'm happy for them. Chris Statlander and Momo Watanabe with Stokely Hathaway versus Willow Nightingale and Tam Nakano. I forget which one. My apologies. I believe that Willow and Tam are going to win this one because the winner of this is not winning the Chris versus Willow match on Wednesday. This is to give the false impression that Willow is going to advance to the tournament when I think Chris is going to win. Because I don't think Chris is going to win the tournament, but I think she's going to beat Willow. She will cheat. Willow will not. Long term, Willow wins the feud, but does not win. That because Willow doesn't really need to be in that tournament because she won it last year. And Chris really does need. Chris is the new established heel. She needs to get some victories in. Mariah May versus Saraya with Harley Cameron. Mariah has Timeless Tony Storm, Luther, and Mina Shirakawa. That is this is a for the women's Owen Hart Cup tournament first round match. I don't think I could see Mariah May losing this to further the main storyline, the main roster storyline of Mina and Tony Storm not being able to get along, and also both wanting to claim their lady. But also, I think the money's in Mariah May winning the Owen and facing Tony Storm at All In. I think that's the money match. And to get to that, Mariah has to beat Saraya, who Saraya won at All In last year just for a hometown pop, really. And so she does not need it again. She does not need to win the Owen. Fuck out of here. We don't need that shit. Now on to the main card, because I already talked about the four-way fight that got added today. That's nonsense. I think I would say Kyle and Tomohiro, or Roddy and Gabe. One of those two teams. I don't know. House of Black doesn't need it, but also it's a multi-person match, which means that Brody and Malachi don't have to get pinned. So I'm sure they're thrilled by that. Main card. Holy shit, there's so much wrestling on this show. Takeshita versus Mark Briscoe versus Jack Perry versus Dante Martin versus Lio Rush versus El Phantasmo in a ladder match for the vacant AEW TNT Championship. My money is on Jack Perry. It feels inevitable. I think the Elite are going to be holding, every member of the Elite should be holding gold for them to be a powerful faction. They don't need it, but I think they're going to get it. Do I think that Takeshita with a belt would help his standing? Yes. But I think Takeshita is in a holding pattern until Kenny's better. I think Takeshita is stuck waiting and doing whatever until he can fight Kenny. I just think that's the reality of it. But yeah, they tried to give the belt. They tried to just award the belt to him. Now he's got to earn it. Jack Perry will earn it. I think it'll be close. Where my assumption is that Lio Rush and Dante kind of take each other out. Mark Briscoe's in there to take some bumps. I could see Takeshita versus Mark Briscoe be the Ring of Honor match. Like, set that up. I could see that happening, like setting some kind of challenge for him up there. That being something. But yeah, and El Phantasmo is there, and that's fun. It is fun that El Phantasmo, that ELP is there. Good luck to you, ELP. But you're not winning that shit. Learning Tree and Jeff Cobb. So that's Chris Jericho and Big Bill and Jeff Cobb versus Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata. So this seems like it's setting up Samoa Joe versus Jeff Cobb in the future, and Chris Jericho versus Hook in the future for the FTW title. If it was anyone but Jericho, I would say, oh, well, this is Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata. This is Shibata, Hook, and Joe winning this. But it's Jericho. And Jericho fucking politics. And I could see him being like, no, see, I pin Hook. And then that furthers the feud. And now he has even more of a reason to want to take me down. But I'm going to say Hook, Joe, Shibata, with Jeff Cobb taking the pin, or Jeff Cobb quits. The real problem is, like, Jericho taking the pin doesn't feel likely. Big Bill is so it's unusual to think about Big Bill taking a pin because he's just such a big dude. Will Jeff Cobb take the pin? Yeah, maybe it's fucking Jeff Cobb. It's like, hey, we got you on the pay-per-view. You're getting a match with Joe at some point. Take the pin in this. I guess that's it. I guess that's what's going to happen. I don't know. Timeless Tony Storm defends the AEW the Women's World Championship against Mina Shirakawa. Mariah May will be at ringside for both people. I would love for this to end with a hug and a handshake and a kiss and a throuple, but my assumption is Mariah May is going to cost Mina Shirakawa this thing. She will choose Toni Storm, which will make her inevitable betrayal that much worse. Because I think it is close to All In, but I think Mariah has to win the Owen first, and then she can turn heel. That's just my thoughts. I don't know. But I can say this, no matter what, how it shakes out, that we're not getting a title change here. This is a one match. Oh, sorry. One person from New Japan / CMLL is walking away / Stardom is walking away with a belt, and it ain't Mina Shirakawa. Let's see. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy. I think it's Zack Sabre Jr. And I think that someone cheats to help Zack, but he doesn't cheat to help Zack. He cheats to hurt. Like, I could honestly just see this being Trent. Trent just fucking with Orange Cassidy. Continuing that feud. But I think New Japan doesn't get many wins on this card, and you have Zack Sabre Jr. Defeat Orange Cassidy. This one, if it goes the other way, I think I'm just as happy, but I would like to see Zack Sabre Jr. get a big win here on the pay-per-view. MJF versus Hechicero. MJF working with the Luchador is interesting because he doesn't work with Lucha too often. I think he will sell Hechicero's submission-based offense. And I think he will like his style. But at the end of the day, this was supposed to be his big win over Roosh, but that shit wasn't going to fly because CMLL hates Roosh, and CMLL is right to hate Roosh, so it's fine. But yeah, this is an MJF win. This is an under 10-minute match. This could have been pre-show if it wasn't MJF. This doesn't necessarily need to be on the card, but it is. I think it's early in the card, and I think it sets up MJF to do other bullshit later that may or may not make people sad. Jon Moxley defends the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against Tetsuya Naito. If Jon Moxley was booked for the G1, I would say he had a chance of winning. But Jon Moxley is not booked for the G1, and the champion is usually in the G1 as of late. And that tells me that Naito is winning. This is going to be Naito's probably last run with the belts. And I think Naito is going to win it. I think that Moxley has been an unpopular champion in Japan because he's not there. And they really don't like that. Diehard Japanese wrestling fans do not like it when their main champion is mostly in another country. They just generally are not big fans of that, which is understandable. I respect it. I understand it. We're working on the other leg because we finished the whole leg and pan aligned it, and God, it looks fucking good. Let's work on the other one. The Elite. Matthew Jackson, Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks, and Kazuchika Okada, who are all champions, but none of their belts are on the line. This is not a title match at all, and it is a trios match, but is not for the trios championships. They're defending nothing. They are fighting Anthony Bowens and Max Caster with daddy ass Billy Gunn, aka the Acclaimed, And Hiroshi Tanahashi, the president of New Japan, and of course a wrestler, the ace of New Japan, and they are apparently calling themselves Scissor Ace, although I assumed that he was calling himself Scissor Ace, but no, it was the team is called Scissor Ace. This one, the Elite need to win because you want to make it seem like the Acclaimed are going to work even harder to beat them. It's weird that Okada getting one over Tanahashi makes sense. It's weird to have the president of a company. Yeah, I thought he was, yes, but Lashbrook, but apparently on promotional material, the team is called Scissor Ace. I think he was calling himself Scissor Ace, and they were like, well, no, that should be the name of the team. Like, someone made the call, we should probably call it that. We should probably name it that because it's good. The Elite really need to win this one. This is a night where the Elite are going to win a new belt, the TNT belt, a new belt for them, and then have all three of them stand tall. And I think that's the way to go. I think that's how it should work out. Who knows? I might be wrong about that, but that's how I'm feeling about it. Okay. All right, so this goes like that, and then this goes in here. More of wrestling. We got 3 more matches, because again, 10 matches on the main card, 4 in the pre-show. Mercedes Moné and Stephanie Vaquer are fighting winner take all for the AEW TBS Championship that Mercedes holds and the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. Strong is their American brand. That is basically the secondary title for New Japan women's division, which is just Stardom people and then some international folks as well. You may remember this is the title that basically they made for Mercedes to win, and then she got injured during her match to decide the first champion, Willow Nightingale. There was an audible called, and Willow won the belt, and then lost the belt. And now Mercedes is taking on Stephanie Vaquer, and Mercedes is going to win. They're not going to put the TBS championship on someone who's not under contract, I don't think. They're certainly not going to do it when they spent oodles and oodles and oodles of money on Mercedes Moné. She's a double champion. She is getting the title that she wanted and, couldn't get because of an injury. She'll be a double champion. I don't think she's going to hold that belt for long. She's not going to be Moné 2 belts, Mercedes 2 belts for that long. I think that she will drop it. I think she'll drop that title before she drops the AEW TBS championship, but that's a big win there. Again, Naito is the only person. Yeah. Naito is the only person from New Japan or CMLL or Stardom who is winning a belt. The next person could be the winner, but I don't think it's likely. Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi for the men's Owen Hart Cup tournament first round. I do not believe that Bryan Danielson is going to win this tournament. I do not believe he will main event All In because he doesn't want to do it. I don't think he wants that. I don't think he wants the pressure of a main event match in his last year. I think he wants weird matches. I think he wants to fight Nigel McGuinness and not Swerve Strickland or Will Ospreay again so soon after beating Will Ospreay or fighting Will Ospreay. I don't think he wants to do it again. But I do think he's winning this first round because I don't think that Shingo is going to fly back for his next match, which would be on Wednesday. I want Bryan to lose to Pac on Wednesday and put him over big. And you can say, oh, he's so beat up from his match with Shingo. that he's protect him that way or whatever. But I I think Brian's going to win this one, but I don't think he's going to win the big one for this tournament. And then our main event. The main event is Swerve Strickland defending his AEW World Championship with Prince Nana against Will Ospreay. Now there are a multitude of ways this can go. Does Brian retire with a belt like Sting? John, my hope is no. I don't want Brian to win a belt in AEW because he has said so many times that he does not need to be a champion. He just wants to wrestle good matches. I think Brian is more interested in like going to other countries and working other promotions. Like, I think Brian is going to do some matches in New Japan. He's already done some stuff in Mexico. I think he's going to do more stuff in Mexico. I think that he'll be on the All In card, but I don't think he's going to be in there defending a belt. That's my hope anyway. It could change because Tony Khan could decide, you know what, I want Brian to be the international champion. Or I want Brian to take the belt off Okada and be the Continental Champion ahead of the next Continental Classic. Like, that's possible, but I hope not. So, Swerve versus Will Ospreay. This is who main events All In. And if they're not main eventing All In, what do they do? Now, there are a couple options with this. Hangman Adam Page, I believe, is the wild card person that is facing Jeff Jarrett in the Owen tournament. And I think that him winning that tournament and facing Swerve Strickland is a way to go. Is it the only way to go? No. Is it a way to go? In my opinion, yeah, that is a way to go. The idea of, because like people were like, how do you make, like, he is turning heel. Hangman Adam Page is a heel desperate to beat a babyface that is Swerve Strickland. How do you make him unlikable? And to me, one of those ways is have him ruin the dreams of Jeff Jarrett, who is trying to win for his dead friend that the tournament is in honor of. That's a big way to say, fuck off, boo this man. Another way is to make up with some of the biggest heels in the company. If the Elite offer an olive branch to Hangman, who in kayfabe they suspended from the Elite and suspended from television, and they're like, hey, we got you this spot in this tournament, that will garner boos. That will garner boos if they're like, Hangman is sided with the guys. Hangman is sided with the guys that always betray him and always treat him like shit. That's how broken he is. That's how much he wants to beat Swerve Strickland and to get an opportunity to face Swerve Strickland. Like, to me, that's enough. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's some dirty shit. He's working real dirty in order to get that. I think that's how you do it. Now, there's another way to go. If Swerve is the champion coming out of Forbidden Door, he retains. What does Will Ospreay do it All In? And the answer might have been decided on Wednesday or figured out on Wednesday and showcased a little bit, which is MJF makes a big deal of like, hey, Danny Garcia, I want to match with you at All In. That is what we should be doing at All In, is you and I should be fighting at All In. And then Will Ospreay shows up and goes, hey, I want you to challenge me for the international title on Wednesday. Hey, and also, if I win the belt, we'll put that on the line. You know, the world champ, when I win the world championship, we'll put that on the line too. Or, you know, whatever. Stole his thunder. a much bigger deal than a match with MJF. Will that be enough for MJF to say, hey, you know what, Will? You're not winning the world title. Fuck off. And for Will Ospreay to lose that belt and therefore, or that opportunity for that belt, and therefore feud with, start a feud with MJF, which leads to, of course, a match. Oh, I'm putting this together wrong, so I gotta fix this out. Which then would lead to a match between the two of them at All In. And that's interesting. It keeps Hangman off the card until he's the surprise on Wednesday. It means that MJF, Daniel Garcia could also get in on that action. Could be Daniel Garcia and Will Ospreay and MJF cutting promos on each other all the way through, all the way to Wembley. That's interesting. That could be the thing. Like maybe MJF fucks with Will Ospreay on Wednesday as well. Danny loses opportunity to win that belt because of it. That's a thing. That's a thing that could happen. On the flip side, let's think about the. Hey, Harold, welcome. We're doing some what ifs for the main event of Forbidden Door tomorrow, the wrestling show. What's the other side is Will Ospreay wins. Will Ospreay wins and is a double champion. Who does Will Ospreay? Then Will Ospreay faces Pac, and Pac wins the tournament. He wins the Owen Hart Cup, and then you get a Brit versus a Brit in the main event. That's pretty fun. That's pretty cool. But how does Swerve lose? Hangman Adam Page, and then Hangman Adam Page isn't, and then Hangman Adam Page is also the wild card, but then loses because Swerve gets his revenge, setting up Swerve versus Hangman Adam Page at Forbidden Door. Or not Forbidden Door, at All In. That's another way you can do it. I don't think that's as clean. I also think, yes, Harold, I did. We talked about it. I'm not saying you had to be there for it, but we talked about it in the beginning of the stream. I am experimenting. I am not saying this is how things are going to be from now on, but I am trying this out. That we're giving this a shot here. I am not convinced I like it more than my other setup, but I am at least experimenting with it and seeing how that works. But yeah, just to finish my thought, I think Swerve has had the title for a while. I would love to see Swerve Strickland main event at All In. A lot of people would love to see Will Ospreay be the champion in 2024 and not have them wait, because AEW is kind of fucking bad at stringing things along, slow burning, not pulling the trigger when they need to pull the trigger on things. That is something that I think they're very guilty of. So I could see that being the thing of like, nah, just have Will Ospreay win it, and then he main events. But I think it's better for I just want Swerve Strickland to be the champion going to All In. I just think that's cool as hell. And also, here's the thing. At that point, Swerve will probably have like one more defense randomly on a random Dynamite. And then he fucking loses to Hangman. Because Hangman Adam Page, working with the Elite, becomes the world champion. And the Elite have a bunch of belts. And that's compelling. And I think that's the way they should go with it. Even though that does feel weird. I put these side pieces on early. No, I didn't put these side pieces on. I haven't put these side pieces on. That's right. These are on. I have side pieces to put on. I cut these out by mistake too early. I need these later. I fucked up, everybody. Anyway, that's wrestling. There'll be more of it. We'll get more wrestling. I'll talk about the results on Monday That's going to be a long show tomorrow, but I'm looking forward to it. Lots of good matchups, some good silliness. I'm watching the Collision replay after the stream tonight because that's when I watch Collision, because it happens 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time when I am here doing this shit. So I can't do it, can't do it while it's happening. And I like Collision, but I don't like Collision enough to move my streams. I already did that for Dynamite, and that's mainly because I really like hanging out with friends while Dynamite happens. So this doesn't seem to... Oh, there it goes. It bends. Okay. John S., is MJF a face or heel now? And does he get another shot at the World Championship again anytime soon? So, to answer your second question first, no. I think MJF does not get a world title opportunity until after he and Adam Cole have a blow-off of their feud, but Adam Cole is still not cleared to wrestle, so that's going to take a little while. MJF is, at this very moment, a douchebag babyface. He is a guy that cheats, that the audience still likes because the audience wants to like him. He is nowhere the talent of the man I am about to say, but I am going to compare him on vibe and audience appreciation with Eddie Guerrero. Again, I am not comparing their talent, their in-ring work, their microphone work. I am not comparing any of that. But Eddie Guerrero cheated, and the crowd loved it. And his promos were, fuck, you go fuck yourself. Level of, yeah. I don't care. It's not anti-establishment, right? Because that's Stone Cold. Stone Cold is anti-establishment. Stone Cold is an ass kicker that everyone can get behind because the authority that he is against is authority that people hate. That's different. MJF is just like a guy that didn't change his act, but everybody else is like, but we like you. A bit like when Jay White was a babyface, when the Acclaimed and the Bang Bang Gang were together. Jay White didn't change anything about his vibe. He was just a quote-unquote babyface because he was with the people that people want to cheer. So yeah, but I do think that MJF is going to be turning full heel. If MJF costs Will Ospreay the world title, he will be a heel. That will be a heel thing, and the crowd will decide they are against that, and they will boo that. That is my thoughts on MJF. MJF is or like House of Black are tweeners, which is a different thing. House of Black are heels that sometimes they're facing people who are worse than them, and so the crowd cheers for them. But sometimes they face people that are likable, and so the crowd boos them. They are just their own thing, but are dependent on who they're facing. It's not all black and white. It's not all cut and dry. And I think that's fun. All right. Now is the part of the stream where I am going to talk to you about ways you can support what I do here. Lashbrook, yeah, no. MJF is just like MJF. I don't think he's going to do a big character change. I think that the idea was, can I be MJF and a face? And the answer is yes. That they answered their question. Anyway, now is the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you about ways you can support what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk about here is optional. You don't have to do any of these things. If you would like to, I'd love it. But if you don't want to, I get it. That's how we're at with this. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Bill Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego of the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link with your Twitch. You get, you can use a token on anybody. If you want to use it on me, that's great. If you aren't using it, use it for me. If you're using it for somebody else, keep doing that. Keep supporting some people. I do that. I always throw it behind somebody. Um, being a subscriber, you could gift a sub. If you are already a subscriber and you're like, well, Pat, I already subscribe, you could gift a sub to somebody in the community, like Bobby and Aristophan and Carl and Lashbrook, all gifted subs, which is lovely of them this month. Also, I should say, in the middle of July, prices are going up for many countries around the world. So if you wanted to get some money right now, or save some money instead of getting some money, if you want to save some money and extend and get like a couple months at a price, you could do that and then save some money long term. Just saying, short term, I should say. Yes, we do have the Pizza Hut cats. They are the background that I use when I use my green screen and I want not just a black background. I use the Pizza Cats. They are also the background for my desktop. They're my desktop background. It's fun to have the Pizza Hut cats. Look up those commercials. They're Japanese commercials where they have cats working in a clearly fake Pizza Hut, and they're silly and fun little commercials. If you haven't seen them. You could also, if you wanted to, through Twitch, you'd support me. Hey, bits are appreciated. If you want to do some cheer, you want to join the cheerleader board with Harold, you could do that. You don't have to, but you could. That's just through Twitch. That's the easiest way. If you want to support me through Patreon, you can go over to my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBaer. There is a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. Now, my Patreon just got a Q&A video that I put up today. And my Q&A videos are the only exclusive content that I make. That is my my guarantee over on Patreon is like, well, I can give you this. I can give you a Q&A that nobody else gets. So if you want that, you can get over there on the Patreon for as little as $1 or 10. Also, you could always do more money than required. I don't know why you would, but you could do that. There used to be somebody that they were at the $5 tier, but gave me $10. And I'm like, I don't know why you're doing this, but okay. They just didn't want to vote on stuff, which is what the $10 get to do. Fine by me. If you haven't already, consider jumping in and subscribing to me on YouTube. Because obviously subscribing on YouTube is free. I make every other Monday I put up a video about a larger topic, a long discussion, video essay kind of thing about anime. And then every Wednesday I put up a new video in a year-long project. This year's project is also anime related. But I'm putting stuff up there all the time. Jump on my YouTube. Love it. And now if you want to become a member on YouTube, you could do that. And for just $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So you get them a day early. So you'll know what one of my favorite shows from the spring season is. Because that's what all throughout July, every Wednesday, I'll put up a new video talking about one of my favorite shows from last season. Which you can probably guess, but also you should just watch. So we got YouTube, we got that. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you want to do a one-time donation to my Ko-fi, or my PayPal, you can do that. Everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I buy model kits. I was able to pick up this kit, the gorgeous Ariel. I was able to pick up because of your generosity. So thank you very much, everybody that has helped me out in the past. Past you is helping present me build a beautiful kit. And I thank you for that. Now, that's all well and good, Pat. I'm working on the Ariel. I've got stuff in my backlog. I have stuff I haven't even shown anybody that I've bought. But that's not what I'm building next. What I'm building next is some Lego sets that two different people, because they're short little Lego sets, so we're doing together, bought for me off my Amazon wish list. If you would like to decide what I'm building next, you can always buy something and have me build it. Because right from my Amazon wish list. Yeah, I'm going to be building some Lego, and then I'm going to be building a model kit, because all those things were bought off my wish list, and you can do that as well. Over on my Amazon wish list, I have inexpensive kits. I have expensive kits. I have kits that go on sale all the time, kits that are never on sale. Free shipping, free Prime shipping, or free shipping for Prime members. Prime shipping, which are two different things for some reason. Um, all kinds of different stuff. Uh, very inexpensive all the way to super expensive. I have added some new stuff recently, added some new model kits, or new to me. Another Lego knockoff that looks pretty fun. And then there's some gear at the bottom, because it's always nice to have gear. If you want to get replacement headphones for these, because these are starting to crap out around the ears, and they are so inexpensive that nobody makes replacement for them. Or a toolkit that would help me out in both model kit building and other stuff, having some better spudgers and all that. All kinds of things. If you don't have an idea of what you would buy, but the idea of buying something to help me out appeals to you, you could do that through my Amazon wish list. Optional. Again, everything I'm talking about here is optional. You never have to spend a dime. Just you being here means a lot to me. Let's see. Other things you can do if you wanted to do them would be my alternative to Amazon is a Throne wish list. Mostly it's gift cards and gear over there because they don't keep a lot of model kits in stock. But you can check out that wish list. And then the most convoluted, confusing way to support me that involves the most steps possible, because some people are into that. You go to USA Gundam Store. You buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. They send you an email with the gift card code. Then you copy and paste that. You send me a whisper here on Twitch, or you send me a DM on Twitter, or Blue Sky, or Mastodon, because I'm on all of those, with the gift card code, and I will use that gift card code, and I will buy a goddamn model kit from USA Gundam Store. And you can be like, hey, you should pick this kit up, or get whatever you want, or put this towards something. You could do that if you want to. Again, optional, but you could. You could do it. Let's see. If you want to support me and not spend any money, join my Discord. My Discord is full of awesome people. You are more than welcome to come hang out there. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. It is a cool place for cool people. So if you want to get it on that, feel free to do that. A couple video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. I wrapped up the spring season and then previewed the summer season. The summer season is beginning. Have I watched any shows from the new season yet? No, because it's just really starting off. I think like next Wednesday is the first one. Oshinoko Season 2, I know I'm going to be watching. I don't know if I'm going to watch anything before that. Actually, maybe Monday there's a new show that I want to watch. I want to say that the middle-aged guy who becomes an adventurer, I think, is there, and Strongest Parry is later in the week. So some stuff is starting up. I don't know what I'm going to be covering in the summer season. I am debating whether or not I'm going to cover Oshinoko, because I usually don't cover shows in their second or third season, but that show is so interesting that I kind of want to cover it. So I haven't fully decided yet. But I will be covering some shows because that's how I do things. I will say I'm hoping the summer season is better than the spring season because I didn't have a lot of stuff to cover. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. I'm talking about Star Driver. I ended June by talking about, or all throughout June, I talked about mecha series that I really liked. Star Driver is a bit of a hidden gem. It is really cool vibes. It is a good shonen mech series where you don't often get that. I mean, there are, meant for young men, but this one felt like they took a lot of shonen tropes and applied it to a mech series. And the designs are really cool, and the battles are awesome. It's a good series. Check out my short video praising Star Driver, and then see if you want to watch that. Okay, so I've got a manga to talk to you about, and then I've got an anime to talk about, the last episode of Windbreaker. We'll talk about that. But before we talk about that, we do need to talk about a manga that I have been reading. And then also, before I even get into that, I do need to drink some water because I am in need of water. So I am going to dramatically transition back to the overhead camera, continue working on this leg, and then while I'm doing that, drink some water. So let's do that right now. John wants me to dance button. This will be the last night of this dance button because Monday will be the start of July. And I'll have a new song for July. But here it is. John, thank you for using your channel points for something silly like this. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then I think we probably need a little guitar. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, that's some guitar. What about, like, more guitar? Could we get, like, more guitar coming in? Yeah, there you go. That's another guitar. Yeah, but keep that bass line consistent. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll just loop that back and forth. Just loop all of that shit. And then we'll fade it out. Yes, goodbye to June's music. We listened to you some amount of times. You were music that we played on occasion. But thank you very much for using your channel points for something silly. Because otherwise they just stack up. Because I don't do much with the channel points. Because I don't do betting or anything. I don't do... One time I did a poll. And I think it was that I had like multiple kits. I hadn't decided what kit I was going to build. So I was like, I'll do a poll. And like, I'll let you decide, folks. Or something. I don't remember what it was. Or maybe, no, you know what it was? It was something like a Pokemon game or something. And I put a poll up because I was like, all right, I'm going to hear from folks and we're going to get this sorted out. And it's going to be great. And then like the poll was just tied. And it was like such a small percentage of viewers voted in it. I was just like, what is happening right now? So yeah, I don't mess with polls because that one was really frustrating. Anyway, Jetsu says, I am being forced to watch Geely against my will. Send help. And then Meep throws in some emotes. Hello, Meep. Jatsu, I am sorry to hear that. I do not believe I can be any help to you on that one. On your issues currently with being forced to watch Geely. I will just tell you that it's not good. But Geely isn't, I don't think Geely is as bad as people decided it was. Again, do I think that is a good film? No. But I don't think that it is as bad as people make it out to be. But, you know, good luck to you. All right, let's see. Are there any... Yes, there are some overhangs here. I want to talk to you about a manga that I have been reading called I Was Transferred to Another World and Became a Teacher, but I'm Feared as a Witch. This is, of course, an isekai. Of fucking course it is. I mean, it's a show. It's a thing that I am. It's a thing that I am reading right now. Is a manga that I'm reading. So of course it is an isekai. Girl like basically passes out and then wakes up in a fantasy world. This is new to me and I'm new to anime. Where do I start? Episode 1. Oh. Yeah, no. So, actually, honestly, Meep, that is a pretty good place to start with if you want to watch that episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club. That's a pretty good place to start because it's me talking about the spring anime season, which just happened, and the summer anime season, which at the time I recorded that video hadn't started yet, but it has now started. So, I talk about for a couple hours a lot of different anime and something there. I might describe a show that I didn't even watch, but you go, oh, well, I have Netflix. I should check that out. Or I have Hulu. I'll look at that. Or I'll do a free trial to Crunchyroll and see if that's something that I want to check out. I think like that might be a good start. You don't have to start with episode 1 of Pat Bear's Anime Club. You can just look at the titles and see if there's something that I talk about that interests you. If you want to learn about visual novels or something, I have a video on that. I have a video on a bunch of things. I have a video of Pat Bear's Anime Club where I talk about a really, really nerdy thing, which is like a sound effect that is a running gag in Japanese anime, and the source of that weird gag. Like, I get very specific in some of those, but a lot of them are just like overview things. Now, this particular manga that I'm reading, I was transferred to another world and became a teacher, but I'm feared as a witch, is of course, like, okay, so Is it kind of boilerplate? Girl is incredibly overpowered? Yes. There is an interesting element to it, which is this is a girl that becomes a teacher at an academy, but that was her job in Japan. She was also a teacher in Japan. Now, did she set out to be a teacher? No. She set out to be incredible at kendo, to honor her father's legacy and do what her father couldn't do, which was to be the best at kendo. Nick, this is Subscribe with Prime. Thank you so much, Nick. Let's go to the Bear Cave Lego site. Tier 2 Blue Emote in chat. Thank Nick. Regizzle, I will read what you have wrote there. I do want to just get a little bit into this because I have been distracted, and I at least want to say a little bit about this thing. So the idea is that she was not excellent at kendo the way her father demanded her to be, but she ends up becoming a kendo student, which is great. All right, Harold, I will see you later. Thanks for stopping in. Always a pleasure. Talk to you soon. So she ends up becoming a kendo teacher because maybe she can do that, but that wasn't her dream. She doesn't hate being a teacher, but the students that she's teaching aren't excelling in the way that she wishes. There's a lot of drama and bullshit and stuff, and she does. The major thing is, in her regular life, she doesn't feel like she can combat the things keeping her students from succeeding. Like all of the extra bullshit that's out there. She does not feel that she can stand up for them and take care of them. And then she dies, and she gets summoned into a fantasy world. And she's younger than she used to be. She's de-aged some. And she's at the point where she gets discovered by a researcher, a wizard researcher elf, and he is a well-regarded mage. And he's just like, yeah, I don't know, live with me, and I'll teach you. I'll teach you about magic. Turns out she is a great magic researcher. She is incredibly good at researching magic, and using what she's learned and applying what she's learned, so much so that our boy Owen is just like, I have run out of things to teach you. Did not expect that. How about I recommend you for a job? You should be applying all of this stuff to a school. So our teacher in Japan becomes a teacher in a magic academy. And she is now she immediately takes the attention of the principal and various other teachers as she learns the ropes and talks with their other teachers, and immediately starts putting an end to bullying by being very strong. Like, hey, you know what a teacher probably shouldn't do? Duel students, but you can't say no to a prince. You can't say, I won't do a magic battle with you, prince. But what you can do is beat his ass soundly. And then you can call for a parent-teacher conference and be the only person in that school with the audacity to tell the prince, or to tell the parents, who are the king and queen of the country, your son has a goddamn attitude problem and treats people like property, and he has aptitude for magic, but he doesn't want to listen to anybody. And so and you need to fucking figure that shit out. And it's awesome because everyone's just like, oh, fuck. And then they're like, no one said that to us. Is this an actual problem? We'll deal with it. And it's great. It's a fun little thing because it very much feels like our main character does not give a shit if she gets fired. Because she's so brilliant, they kind of can't fire her. And that's a fun position to be in. It's solid. Once again, I was transferred to another world and became a teacher, but I'm feared as a witch. She also is, there's a little bit of cluelessness. Now, not that like, oh, I don't understand how strong I am cluelessness. It's more like, well, everyone should, like, hey, we say this school that it doesn't matter where you're from or what your status is. It's about knowledge. And people were like, yeah, but that's not the reality. She's like, yeah, it doesn't matter if that's not the reality. That's what we say. And so that's what I'm going to do. So she's a little like pig-headed, but not clueless. And it's fun. And there's a decent supporting cast out there. It's a pretty good time. But it is enjoyable to see how little of a fuck she gives about anything other than pursuing magic. Also, when she starts teaching, because she was doing a sub-teaching thing for a while, she was substituting or observing. When she finally gets her own class, it's rare because there are a lot of there's a bunch of different like commoners there, and also the prince or a prince from another country. And then also some teachers keep showing up because they're like, I don't know, I'm learning a lot from you, which is a fun bit of business. It's enjoyable. Now, Rejizzle said, I've been watching Manga Scroll on Crunchyroll. It's a story set in feudal Japan about how those with that exert influence over economic systems are doing so inherently through violence. And by gathering resources, you are necessarily depriving others of those resources. Also, the resource in question are giant bazongas. It's a boob-based economy. I was like, why does that name sound familiar? And then I got to the point where I was like, oh yeah, I do remember that. I don't think I've watched it because it's one of those things where you're like, did you really work really hard to have a boob? You could just have a booby anime. You don't have to work that hard to justify whatever. But it sounds like you worked really hard to justify your weird thing. But okay, but also like maybe that's good. Maybe you should have to work that hard to have that kind of a story. I don't know. I'm not convinced either way. That does not seem like a thing that I would engage with, but maybe it's actually genuinely good. I don't know. That sounds interesting, Rijizzle. Now we come to the 13th and final episode of Windbreaker. Except, Pat, don't forget the fact that we're getting a second season. They announced at the end of this that we will be getting a second season of Windbreaker. It will not be till next year. It is not a one season on, one season off, one season on. So it's not going to be winter 2024. We do not know when in 2025 we are going to see season 2, but it will be back. And I'm saying that just because it's nice to know going into episode 13, because spoilers for a few minutes from now, episode 13 sets up the next season, which we knew it would. When episode 10 finished that arc, finished the Battle of the Boys arc, it became very clear that, okay, why do we have 13 episodes? It's to introduce new characters and to set up the next arc because they knew they were getting a second season. Because it did not seem like it needed 13. If there was not going to be a second season, it did not need 13 episodes. But since there is a second season, it makes sense for this episode. We start with basically every year of school or every grade in school has a captain. Our captain for the freshmen, the grade captain, is Sakura. He shows up there with all the other captains, and then apparently the king of the school, the king of all these delinquents, Umemiya, has his 4 kings, which is very classic for this kind of a thing, to have the 4 kings, the 4 heavenly kings. Every demon lord has his 4 kings. So there are 4 kings. We meet them. I'm not going to tell you their names. I wrote them down thinking they would be more in this episode. They are not in this episode again. I will do my best to remember their names next season, next year, in case they show up. But right now, we don't need to know who they are because they are not important to this. Neri introduces everybody together, and Umemiya welcomes all the grade captains, new and returning. and basically says like, okay, hey, we're doing this stuff. Thanks so much. Help everybody. Help your friends. Help your classmates. Help the community. Blah, blah, blah. Their mission, their goals. Basically just being like, hey, reminder. We then send Sakura out doing some patrols because that's part of the gig that these delinquents do. And they run into, or they come across some folks in hoods, some hooded unknown people that are from the group called Keel. That's all capital letters, Keel. Keel, and we don't know what's going on with Keel right now, but they obviously are up to no good because they have been introduced in this episode. They are searching for someone. We do not know who they are searching for, but they are searching for somebody. And then later, our crew find Anzai, who is a classmate of theirs. They run into Anzai, and he's been attacked, and they're like, who did this? And they're trying to help him out, and he's just like, no. He basically just like kind of brushes them off, kind of lies, kind of downplays what's going on. So we don't know what's happening with that character right now, except that he does not seem to want help. He meets up with who's a girl who is apparently his childhood friend, and they are talking about someone called Nagato, who is apparently from overhearing this conversation. We get a sense that he is involved with Keel, which might make sense why either that was the person that the Keel folks were looking for, or they're the ones that beat up Anzai looking for Keel. We don't know. We don't know what's happening there quite yet. Anzai leaves, and Sakura shows up to talk to this girl, and basically is just like, hey, what's up? I'm his classmate. I want to help. Can you tell me what's going on? And she does, and we get backstory. The three of them were childhood friends. Nagato was quiet and strong, but always kind of kind and nice. And then at some point, Anzai found out that Nagato was stealing, he was pickpocketing, and he doesn't know what's going on. Turns out he was pickpocketing for Keel, but it seems like Nagato doesn't want to be part of Keel. He is either being blackmailed or bullied or something. And apparently Anzai has been trying to bring Nagato out of this group and help and support him, but he didn't want to drag in his fellow students in a personal matter, which obviously we know, because there's a shonen, we know he should have asked for help. Sakura promises the girl that he's going to help out. He's going to help solve this problem. And then Anzai is leaving school to go because he has been given a threatening note with a photo of Nagato, so he has to go. That's obviously a trap, my friend. And he tells Sakura, who confronts him, like, yeah, I am convinced that Nagato isn't a thief. He's not part of Keel. Something's going on. I tried to help him. It didn't work out. Okay, I can actually use some help. But he's convinced Nagato is in trouble and he wants to help his friend. And apparently Sakura and Anzai didn't have this conversation just in a secluded area. So the entire class heard, and they're all like, hell yeah, we're helping you. And so they all leave together. And as they're going to go to this meetup spot, the second years, the sophomores, basically second year Buferin students, see all of them leaving. So maybe they're going to tail them to help them out. We don't know. And that's the end of the 13th episode of Windbreaker, which also is the end of season 1 leading into season 2. We're setting up where season 2 is. If you want to call it core 2 of it, I think you could probably call it that, because it is going to be seemingly a direct continuation, but that's next year, sometime next year. My full thoughts on Windbreaker is that Windbreaker was really good. I want to read the manga. That is now something that I will be doing as we lead into getting hyped for the next season, which will be out next year. I want to start reading it. I never read that before. I started watching the anime. This was a show that clearly money was spent on. The animation is fluid. The fight scenes look really good. The voice cast is excellent. Everyone's going for it. It is a show about feelings and found family, and also whooping ass and being really good at fighting, despite the fact that you are a young person. So it is a pretty goddamn rad show that I would recommend. Windbreaker. I will also say, before we get into the conversation where I ask y'all to talk about what you're up to and into, watching or otherwise, I will just say, I did finish, but I will probably not be covering the last couple episodes of Voice Actor Radio, the many sides of Voice Actor Radio. Now that I have finished it, I can tell you that is a gay show, but they are not gay for each other yet. It is not just subtext, it is just a slow burn. I have been told that the light novels take a really long time before they get gay, but they do get gay. That is a Yuri story. That is a women's love story. It is just an incredibly slow one. So it is not a tease, not a bait, but we do not get a payoff in the anime. Also, that show was, I don't want to call it cheap, but I will say that I don't think that show did not seem to have a large budget. It didn't really need one, but there were times where bodies weren't, like, mouths were moving, but faces weren't moving, and corners might have gotten cut on the many sides of Voice Actor Radio. Last person says, I watched that episode today, and you can't just have a line to the effect of, that's just Yuri bait in the show. Yes, at a certain point, it gets meta about that. Because it is a show about voice actors and doing anime, it allows itself to be a bit self-referential and make some jokes about what it's doing. I will say again, the anime, because I don't think they're going to get a second season, the anime does not pay off what it is doing. The source material does, apparently. And so I will say, apparently, that shit does get there. It's just not, it's not what you want when you want it, which is while you're watching the thing. But the Many Sides of Voice Actor Radio is still a solid show. It just doesn't have the payoff that I would have appreciated. Would have been fucking nice to have it. We didn't get it. I have not watched the last episode of sorry, my mind just completely blanked out. Whisper Me a Love Song. Have not watched that. I will watch the last episode of a Whisper Me a Love Song at some point. So I will be able to give you the full thought on that. But right now, I could just say that. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Not even. Whisper Your Love Song, I don't think is I think Whisper Your Love Song is a 12 episode. Also, episode 10 got delayed. Even they took 2 weeks off for Whisper Your Love Song and then still delayed the 10th episode. They took, between episodes 8 and 9, they took 2 weeks off. And then I'm going to look at Anchart to see how many episodes the show has, because I think it was supposed to be 12. Okay, yeah, it is a 12 episode show. Yeah, it's supposed to be 12 episodes, and we're on episode 10. Episode 10 got a delay, and then the hope is that it will actually finish up at some point. Supposedly they did it. That's a show. Now, if I want to say they're cutting corners on Many Sides of Voice Actor Radio. Whisper Me a Love Song. Fucking, they took some goddamn shortcuts in that show. And then also had to delay it so they can hopefully finish it. Yikes. But hopefully they will. And hopefully the music in the last couple episodes will be good and will look good. Not just sound good, but look good. Because that was actually a problem. Was that it did not look good the first time. So hopefully this time it will. Now is the part of stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up and into? Obviously, I've got wrestling to watch tonight and tomorrow. Big wrestling weekend here for me, and more good shit coming up. So I'm excited about all of that. Many wrestling shows to check out. Did not do any D&D either with my crew or with the collective that I'm a part of. I would like to do more of that in the future, but right now I am scheduling has not worked out for that, which is okay. I talked about in the beginning of the stream, talked about how I'm doing a lot of yard work and also helping out my neighbors, and how that has been both those things have been fine. Okay, so this needs to go like this, and I don't. Okay, so I think it goes like that. All right, I got it. This is the waist here. Working on the waist so we can get body complete on this kit. I don't know if we're going to finish this up on Monday because we don't have a ton left to do. Tonight we should finish the waist and body complete this kit. And then we will have the weapons left. So I want to say, yeah, we're going to finish this kit on Monday because the weapons and the shield will take a little time to build and the weapons will take a little time to put together, but not so much. Yeah. So I do think that we will get to it eventually. We got a bunch of stuff to do with it, but I think I'm going to finish this kit up on Monday, and then I'll have some Lego to put together. But yeah, I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you into? What's got you going? And then you know me at this point. I'm just playing Hearthstone. I'm playing Hearthstone every day. And continue to play Hearthstone, and then at some point I will stop playing Hearthstone, but not for a while. But I'm enjoying the decks that I'm playing. I haven't played Twist in a little while. I got to get back into Twist because I was enjoying my time with it, and I need to get back into there. Okay, so this is how these look. Okay, I've got this together, right? Yeah. But yeah, I need to get back into playing some other stuff. I don't know if I said that I finished it. I think I did. The part 1 of the DLC for Alan Wake 2 is fucking really good. I think I've said that at least twice, but now I'm saying it again, and I will keep saying it. If you liked Alan Wake 2, or especially if you liked Alan Wake's 1 DLC, the American Nightmare, then you should check this shit out because this is the good shit. If you loved Control, there's some Control goodness here in this game for you to check out for this DLC. And I'm looking forward to their next DLC, whenever that comes out. I don't know why I can't get this to work. Here we go. Okay, so it looks like that. All right. Didn't want to lock in the way I wanted to, but we'll figure this out. And then I need E9. E9. Okay, E9. And all right. And that's basically it for me in games. I need it. I have not bought anything on the summer sale. Little Kitty Big City is on sale, and I am debating it, but I got to be kind of good about funds right now. So I have not picked that up. I am looking forward to the Power Wash Simulator special pack, which is coming out on Tuesday, and that will be what we look at on Tuesday night. So I'm excited for that as well. And I have downloaded, but I haven't, the DLC for WWE 2K24 I will be looking at some point. All right, and then this goes here. Where do you? Oh, you go like this. Oh, okay. You like this. So now I'm going to see what y'all have been saying. John says, watching The Boys. That's right, there's more of The Boys. Playing Like a Dragon and raising a 7-week puppy simulator. Ha, nice, John. All right. Well, good luck with that simulation. Hope that goes very well for you. Ghostfowl is back on Elden Ring, still on Mob Psycho. Hell yeah. Missed out on the MTG event I wanted to do because I scheduled wrong. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Ghostfowl. That sucks. Well, hopefully another event will come along that fits in your schedule and you can properly get it scheduled and take care of it. But yeah, sorry to hear that. Lashbury says, I'm not up to Dawn Trail, but have been playing a bit more Final Fantasy XIV when the game lets me log in. I have heard that some folks are having a time with that. And my condolences. I hope you can get your time in, get your gaming in there at some point. All right, so we want to put this up. I want to put this up here like that. Okay. Am I doing okay? And then push that up, push these up, and then we're gonna. So much undergating on this kit. I say like, oh, we'll get this done. Like I'm gonna say finishing up. I don't know if we're gonna get any Lego done on Monday, because every time I think like, oh, this kit's almost done. Oh yeah, we're almost ready to go there. I realize that like, no, there's a bunch of parts that have undergating and are just gonna take forever to snip out and clean up and get ready. So like, I shouldn't be thinking, oh yeah, this part will be fast to do. Should not be thinking that. I am not going to put this piece on because this kit is eventually going to go on display, and this is the bottom of the kit here. This will clip on to the bottom, and then there's a cover for it, but this is what's going to go into an adapter if I wanted to display this kit, which I think I'm going to. I think it's going to replace... I don't know what it's going to replace on the display that nobody really sees now, but maybe they will in some other videos. But I think it's going to replace something. I just haven't decided what is going to go away. I guess maybe the Maxter Gundam. Maybe the Maxter Gundam goes away. I don't know. Let's see. Watch the first season of the golf anime Rising Impact, which is fun and full of wild golf course designs. Looking forward to the second season showing up in August. Nice. Golf is not a thing that I have ever really wanted in my anime. I'm sure the right show would come along and change my mind on that. But yeah, that has never been a thing for me. Playing Elden Ring DLC. And I'm at the final boss being miserable. Justin or Spicy, my condolences. I hope you whip that thing's ass. I hope you turn the page and you just start zoning in and really taking it to it and showing it who's boss. You. I've been enjoying the Fashant event in Fallout 76. That is a fun coming together of players to help some robots do a fun march around their town while wearing Mardi Gras style masks as some enemies attack. I always see incredible high level people that have jetpacks and wild weapons that obliterate enemies. Yeah, I do know about that mission. I know a little bit about that event. Yeah, you're just trying to help out some robots to basically do a parade, and then monsters show up. I think I have heard about that event. When I was following people who cared a lot about Fallout 76, I believe that came across my attention. And that sounds like a fun bit of business. Lord Crash says, it's at the top of every hour in one town unless someone nukes the area every hour. Yes, okay. Yeah, that would probably prevent it from happening. If somebody fucking nuked the whole thing. Then Aristophan says, I'm deep into Final Fantasy XIV, leveling a new class, the Pictomancer. Very cute. Nice. Y'all been playing some games. That's awesome. Again, I have not been playing games outside of Hearthstone. I didn't even play Helldivers since Thursday's stream. Didn't play any Helldivers to yesterday or today because I have been doing Yardwork Simulator, which sucks. Yardwork Simulator is a fucking bummer because it's some reason very hot and you get dusty and your allergies hate it. And you have to bag up these leaves and you bag up the leaves, but then the leaves are still there in the bags and you got to move the bags and it's like, come on, why do I have to move the bags? Why don't the bags just disappear? Why is this taking so long? It's rude. It's a rude game. But on the plus side, less leaves to rake later. If I'm raking leaves now, I'm not doing it later. I will have to, unfortunately, mow again, and I don't want to, but I will have to do it. It's just so hot. It's just so hot, everybody. It's so hot, and I don't want to be doing things outside. And then I got to do things that are outside. It's like, what am I doing? I'm an indoor kid. What am I doing out here? Well, all right, fine. Fine. Weeds need to get pulled up. There's this one weed that looks like vines, and it keeps creeping in everywhere. And the weed killer this year didn't take care of it, but it took care of it last year. So it fucking came back, which means it's a different strain. So next year, the weed killer will take care of it, but there'll be a new weed to deal with. And it just never seems to fucking end. I check out GDQ for speedrun strats. Yeah, my speedrun strats are to just do it a couple times a year instead of waiting until the fall and having to do it all in the fall. That's my big strat, is I'm negotiating with time. I'm doing things early so I don't have to do them later. All right, this is the waist. We can panel line this, and then we can assemble our kit here and be done with the body. We're body complete on this kit. And then on Monday, we can say we're going to finish this because we're going to build the weapons and then pose this goddamn thing. And this incredibly gorgeous build will be done on Monday's stream. I am not convinced that I will have this particular setup on Monday with the green screen effect going, or if I'll go back to my regular setup. I have to see how I feel about it. I think it's pretty cool. I don't dislike it, but I'm not convinced that this is the way to go. Like literally, I have my backdrop set up in case I didn't want to do this and change my mind during the stream. So that but not having to put that backdrop up, not having to put those model kits up on my bed every time I stream and then have to take them off. And then inevitably one of them falls and I have to reassemble the kit. If I could just put those kits away and I didn't have to dust them constantly, that fucking heavy arms always needs to be dusted. It's a dust magnet somehow. I don't know why that one more than anything else. Maybe because it's just bigger. It's noticeable. But it's dusty. Anyway, I'm going to figure out who we're going to raid tonight. Because we are body complete on this kit, which means that our stream is over. This kit looks so fucking good. God, it looks so cool. But yeah, our stream is done for the night. But we're not done here because we are going to raid. We're going to go find someone doing cool shit out there and go spend some time with them. We got to like figure out who that is. We don't know. We don't know who that's going to be. And the way to do that is to raid. And then I will remind you that my next stream is on Monday. And I recommend you come and hang out because it's always nice to have folks hanging out on stream. So come along on Monday as we wrap this kit up. As John says, we always end with a raid. You could give yourself a fake model wall. Yes, I could do a background image. I could take a photo of my room and make that my background instead of the cats. I could do that, but I don't want to do that. But I could. Who should we raid? How long has my friend... Yes, I could consider that, John. That is certainly a thing I can consider. How long have they been going? Oh, no. My friend Joe Kim, who rules, has been streaming for 6 hours, and I assume he'll probably be wrapping up soon. It's Xandra's birthday stream. It's wife day. It's Xander's wife's birthday. Xander's birthday was recently. Xander's wife's birthday is now. So we're gonna raid Xander 2 streams in a row. How wild! We're gonna do a double raid for Xandra. But yeah, we're gonna go hang out with Xandra. If you don't know, Xandra made all of my emotes, which are rad, and she rules. She was doing a charity stream recently, so we rated her for that. Now we're just rating her because it is her wife's birthday, and we want to share the love with Amber. And it's nice that they're together celebrating. So feel free to come along this raid. Come back on Monday for more nonsense. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.